this is a good way to get familiar with the Monster. I just dropped off my Tacoma that I installed the leveling kit on to the garage to get it aligned, and I figure I will ride my unicycle back to the house. Just had a brain fart there and crossed Collier Boulevard when I shouldn't, and narrowly avoided a car that was turning left. Totally my bad. So I've been feeling this is the kind of ride that the Monster is going to excel at. You know, just big, wide, open areas of pavement to cover as quickly as possible. So the place that I dropped the Tacoma off at, I've had them do some work for me in the past on several vehicles actually, and yeah, I'm kind of lukewarm about them. You know, I don't think they're all that great, but unfortunately, since I've moved to Southwest Florida, I've gone through, I bet, at least half a dozen different shops, and they all managed to piss me off in one way or the other, either through incompetency or overcharging or just bullshit, bad communication. So, you know, I'm hoping that this shop can't screw up an alignment, but you never know. Before I dropped the truck off, I was going through the drive-through ATM, and I sat behind a woman, an old Hispanic woman, that evidently doesn't know how to operate an ATM. She decided that she would use the drive-through instead, and she literally sat there for 5 minutes looking at the thing, not interacting with it, just looking at it. And eventually I lost my patience and I rolled down my window and says, "Hey, come on, let's go," and tapped my horn, and she's like, "It's not working." I'm like, "Okay, well, pull ahead. If you stare at it, it's not going to work." So I eventually just backed out and parked and went to the normal walk-up ATM, and she finally gave up probably about 30 seconds before I finished my transaction. So yeah, that was nice. Like I mentioned with my initial ride on the Monster yesterday, there is definitely a difference in the power delivery. You know, even though the top end of this thing is way up there, and it's so comfortable at speed, getting to that speed and decelerating from that speed both seems to take longer than it would on my M Super. Feels very stable at speed again. Not surprising. Sidewalk for the next 6 miles or so. So as far as maneuvering the Monster, you know, doing this kind of riding, you know, we're just kind of commuting or whatever, that's not really a problem. I already feel like I'm pretty confident doing, you know, the normal maneuvers you'd have to do, avoiding pedestrians and that kind of stuff, making turns, stopping, all that important stuff. The cool thing about this wheel is if I would use it again to like do something like commute to work, I had to be very, very cautious about my speed on the M Super, because it was right on the edge of what I could do battery wise if I was going too fast. On the Monster, I should be able to push it, you know, 20 plus as much as I want, more or less. So cut down on commutes significantly. Passing the entrance to Twin Eagles. Ride's going fine. Definitely feels like I could go for miles and miles and miles. I'm actually getting a little tired of all the seams in the sidewalks and the on and off ramps for the sidewalks. I'm very tempted just to get out in the damn bike lane, but resisting the temptation right now. Approaching Wilson Boulevard, which means I have roughly something like 3 miles to go. Strava running or something, just so I could have tracked my average speed. Didn't think about it. I have a pretty strong smoke smell right now. I'm about a mile from our house. There's been a mulch fire going on for probably almost a week now, and it's weird. It basically spontaneously combusts. The inside of the mulch pile gets hot enough that it'll just ignite because it has been so dry here for so long. And once it starts to burn, it takes forever for it to go out. So depending on the wind, we've been dealing with smoke for almost a week. I don't know if you can see in the GoPro the haze, but there's a smoky haze in this area right now. Okay, just turned back onto my street. I've ridden the whole, roughly 10 miles without getting off the monster at all. My feet, they feel a little sore, but I think they'd feel probably the same on the M Super. 10 miles straight is a long time to be on an electric unicycle. Okay, so it shows that ride was about 14K. Does that sound right? Yeah, 14K. So yeah, that's actually a little less than 10. I gotta do my math, but anyways, shows we're at 70% battery. The wheel temperature is 50.9 degrees Celsius. The fan is running, and here we are. So that was good. It was a good test of the monster, and it definitely is going to be very comfortable for doing that kind of riding. Where I'm trying to get from point A to point B quickly as possible, with the wheel feeling very stable along the way. So that's it. Till next time, Duckman out.